Can you hear it? That's the sound of your societal benefits disappearing, and it's deafening in its silence. Because if you thought about what was really happening, you would probably kick your nearest member of parliament in the scrotum. Or labia. We mustn't be sexist, right? Now let's take a look at modern society, shall we? I'm an old bear, but I remember what society used to mean compared with today, and what has changed has been slow, but looking back, you've got to ask yourself, what's going on? The story sold to me in my youth was pay your taxes and we'll invest some of that into benefits you may need later on. The pension at 65, where you are honoured as a surviving taxpayer and granted an okay wage that will see you through to your dying days without having to work, you lucky bastard. And there was free healthcare, because everyone should be entitled to free healthcare. That's what society is all about, really, isn't it? Funding the basics for later in life, or earlier if you fall ill. You're covered, mate. The dole, because if you lose your job, a safety net will be there to help you get on your feet again. It's just the ticket. And lastly, an education, at least till college years, free of charge. That sounds okay, doesn't it? But then, to listen to Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here is to realise the awful truth. We've been distracted by the old switcheroo. The price of entry to this new society is to provide the voracious beast called the government with more and more money with less and less to show for it. I mean, where's the benefit to being in this so-called normal society anymore? The benefits I mentioned before are more and more out of reach. I mean, let's have a look. For those of us not there yet, the government pulled the rug out and says that the new retirement age is 67, and they may go up before too long to 70, here in Australia at least. The amount of retirement is close to half of a shit wage, but wait till you see the poor bastards on the dole at a third of a shit wage or less. I tell you, I don't want to lose my job and be on that. But that's the point, isn't it? Make it so unappealing you're scared to back away from a job that would just love for you to do one more hour in unpaid overtime, because we just don't have the budget at the moment, because Derek in middle management, who left to have dinner with his family 3 hours ago, just had to spend $250,000 on cute pink vibrator-shaped soundbars for the Christmas party that they've arranged to be at the manager's getaway retreat 3 hours from where you live, but you are welcome to drive out there. You will, of course, have to dress as Santa and give out the presents, which should be boxes of batteries with a note that says present not included. And these batteries are intended to enter into the aforementioned vibrator bars so that you can once again be shafted by management in their woodland retreat you can't escape from until Monday morning, when they will explain that, well, it may be Christmas, but somebody has to manage the phones. But please take this gift, as Derek hands you a vibrator-shaped package that's going on its own, with a sly smile and a wink on his face as he extracts his fist from the lubricated latex glove. So here we are. Pay part of your wage through your job to fund your own retirement now, as the pension can no longer be afforded, even though you pay more and more in taxes each year. Tried to get in to see a doctor, but the first appointment is in a couple of weeks. You really should pay for your own health insurance and leave those saps who can't afford it to wait even longer so you can effectively jump the queue to see them today, especially as you are leaving a nasty trail of dysentery after the royal fisting from Derek. And hey-ho, presto, now you're paying for the benefits you were paying taxes for in the first place, minus the dole, which is bollocks anyway, and you now have to work for. The only thing left is school, and that's just indoctrination to get you to be a good citizen and pay taxes to continue the merry-go-round. God forbid they actually teach children to be fiscally responsible and how to save and be creative and such. No. If they do get their head out of the screen for more than 5 seconds, it's, here's Pythagoras' theory, and long division for you to barely remember because you'll never use it in your 40 years as a cash registry job. And your parents can't help with kids' homework anyway, because they teach long division differently from when you couldn't give a shit about it half a century ago. Shh. Can you hear that? That's the sound of politicians not giving a shit. Once they claw their way up into the ranks, to where they can get a pension. They don't really have to do anything. I mean, they earn several times the medium wage, and once they do a few years of so-called work in Parliament, they get benefits for life that the people they represent don't. So none of this affects them. So I'll just wait here in the doctor's surgery for a fucking doctor. I mean, chin up, it's only been 3 hours so far. How much longer can it be? Oh, sorry. Sorry.